9. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing.
The following announcement has been paid for by the NPR.
In a league known for close racing and exciting results, stand one team that is different. One team that has set the bar to average. That team is Mid-Pack Racing. When other teams win on the track, there is one team that wins in the after party. That team is NPR. So tune in Tuesdays, and watch NPR battle for their place on top of the bell curve. NPR, because 10th through 19th has a 1 in it too. NPR.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here tonight. PTM Racing TV is back with you once more as our doubleheader continues. And tonight, it takes the main event off to the land where a track no longer with us but in our hearts and our minds, a track we will always remember. It is Myrtle Beach Speedway, and tonight the Champion Power Equipment Fast and Fun Cup Series are about to do battle on this famous track. I am Christian the Caceres driver. Join me once again by my good friend Dustin Sparkulicious Sonaker. Sparky, we got ready to get out of here tonight, bud, and we got some work to do, so might as well get down the grading order. I'll start rows up, and then you go from the second on back. But here we go on the pole. The 40 of Drake Zane Freedom Janzik leads him off. Randall Falks will pilot the number 98 as well here on his outside.
And the next row is going to be Robert, the Mullet Man Lawrence, in that number 34 machine, and Brad Patton to his outside in car number 10.
Row 3 sees Cale Gale in the 83 to his outside. That will be the 15, Jason Taylor.
And the next row is going to be Richard Fornshow in car number 90 and Kyle Holden in car number 12.
Row number 5 is going to be Kevin Kersher in the 91 to his outside, Harley Barletta, the 81.
And the actual row number 6, it's going to be Brian Lorenzo in the 77 and Nathan Meyer in 24.
Row number 7 is going to be James Monroe Harris in the 4 to his outside, Christian Wilcox in the 53.
Row number 8, Michael Davis in car number 5 and Georgie Young in car 48.
Row number 9, Steve Gibson in the 21 to his outside. That's Caleb Forsythe in the 76.
Row number 10, Russ Kilgore in car number 2 and Austin Havel in car number 42.
Row number 11 is Robert Gillard in the 54 to his outside. Matthew Johnson, the 44.
And row number 12, we got John Thacker in car number 56 and Kevin Ward in car number 112.
Row number 13, Sheldon Pearson in the 8 to his outside. That's the Wild Child, Eli Childs in the number 9.
Row 14, that's Rick Sargent in car number 27 and Brock Whitehead in car number 82.
Row 15, Tyler Meeks in the 35 to his outside. That'll be Gar Snyder in the 88.
Row 16, we got William Mann Jr. in car 29 and Jacob Givens in car number 20.
Row number 17, Sean Bounty in the 19, then Steve Mann in the 7, Charles Whitehead pilots the 51, and out our field here tonight. And indeed, a field stacked and loaded, 35 drivers to the stage. Green flag is out at Myrtle Beach.
All right, here we go. We got all them drivers named just in time to get the green flag out as they head down into turn 1 and 2.
We're going to see a whole laundry list of drivers in different shapes and colors and forms with a whole lot of green behind there, but out of the gate, looks like Randall Falk's going to take what he learned from Grant Enfinger and put it to good use over Drake St. Fan. Jantic already having to deal some company with the champion Power Equipment 98, holding the early lead.
Early lead indeed. We'll see how these guys handle this racetrack here. Another lovely short track here tonight. One, again, like you said, no longer with us on the schedule anymore, but here they are running it here, and it's always a fantastic race to watch.
As once great Dale Earnhardt Jr. said, this track just brings up so many memories, and it brings so many great feelings of racing. It was one of the hardest tracks to really endure and master, and for a multitude of reasons. We know why, but I would say the biggest reason is because of its unique shape and configuration of the track itself. It's a very unique blend of hard corner tight racing, as well as just trying to make sure you don't send yourself into a place you don't want to end up at. It's extremely difficult to master it, but if you can get it dialed in just right, you can be with the best of them. And now we're already having troubles down there. Sheldon Pearson, the number 8, gets involved.
Yeah, it looked like that looks like a self-spin there. We'll have to check the PTM instant replay to see exactly what happened. It looked like he just lost it over there.
Well, the good news is at least you remember you got to say that on the line here when we're getting that up here. Yes, this is the PTM instant replay presented in part by Champion Power Equipment here tonight. Take a look at it from the angle here. Right now the number 8 comes off of the corner, and looks like you can see the mean green fighting machines of the NPR boys. And the 8 is Sheldon Pearson. You can see what I was talking about earlier on how tight cornering and tight racing can do for you. Unfortunately for the 8, he wasn't able to stick with it.
No, indeed, and it looks like he just lost cornering there coming into that corner there. Just lost the rear end, and around she went.
Around she goes, and away we have to put the technical difficulty screen up because apparently the Glitchcraft for Gremlins still will not leave me alone around here.
No, it looks like a little bit of Halloween trickery going on already.
Sparky, didn't I tell you to get these great gremlins out of here and get these kids off my lawn like I told you in Monster House? You don't do that to me around here. All right, bring it in some competition, though. Let's talk with some of our drivers in the 54. We bring him in now. Robert Gillard in the Miller Lite 54 Ford Mustang. Robert, right out of the gate, man, a little bit of a different perspective considering what you were running in the Truck Series to now the Cup Series here tonight.
Yeah, buddy, it was fun last night.
It was indeed. It was good to see you back here on the show as well. And of course, you're driving that 54 and piloting it here right now in the top 20 here, up 3 spots. How difficult would you say though it is to run these Cup cars on a track like this in this case?
Well, it's a lot of throttle and braking and just concentrating, making sure you know where everybody is around you.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Go Fast Motorsports certainly has a little bit of work to do and time to be had. So we wish you nothing but the best of luck, sir.
Thank you.
Well, didn't mean to cut him off there, guys. I think he just kind of got cut off, unfortunately, from that end. So, all right, looks like we're getting ready to double file him up here, Dustin.
Yeah, we are. We're going to get them double foul. We'll get them started again here and get back under get some more green flag racing under our belt here.
iRacing Series comes on board. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Thomas Whitehead, I'm here to get on in the big screen. Kenneth Crawford, some of the best in the booth. Cheers to a good one. Matt Moniak, nice save, and keep everything to minimal damage from that. Great to have you all on board. Thanks for tuning in. You guys ready for some more racing? 'Cause we're going to give it to you. Here we go.
Back under the green flag is Randall Fox will lead him down into turn 1. Craig Jazanik in second spot. Robert Lawrence in third. Here we go.
The Jandy fam is in trouble already. The Brad Patton, number 10 here, he is on the attack, on the move. He says, hey man, I'm here too. Let's see where this one goes. And Cale Gale, the former NASCAR Truck Series driver, is literally on the heels of the clutches. He's been at this game for a while. He knows how to race with them.
Absolutely. Last week's winner and that surprising finish last week at Nashville. We'll see if he can get back up to the front and stay up here right now, currently in the 5th position.
Last week at Nashville Super Speedway, Cale Gale managed to catch the break of a lifetime out of turn 4. Fuel line goes completely out there for Randall Falks. Falks told me earlier today he has made sure that he had that gas tank filled up all the way on every pit stop, and he will make sure that it is definitely directly where it needs to. And he said, if anything, he may have to pull a little bootlegger out there and just kind of, add a little extra tank storage in there if you had to, but I think right now the only thing we got to worry about is that 34 Robert Lawrence staying away from that wall protection. He goes straight in and gives a little glove kiss that thing.
Oh yeah, there's a whole lot of wall kissing back there to 35 as well. Meeks also got in the fence. Oh, they're getting a little crazy back here in turn 4, but they're going to be okay.
That's a 3 wide salute. You say they're going to be okay. They're not okay yet. We're still 3 wide going into turn 1.
Yep, they can still do a 3 wide around here, but like was said earlier, you just got to be aware of your surroundings. And so far, these guys are doing a very good job of that.
I would be a lot more comfortable if I was driving a super late model or a late model at Myrtle Beach, not a cup car of all things here trying to try with these boys.
Yeah, a little bit more power, a little bit more body work on these cars. Yeah, absolutely.
Right about now, the only thing I can say is I commend anybody that's even doing this. As we got a little bit of trouble down there with the 44. Matthew Johnson gets a little slight damage there. He ends up giving the 48 of George Young a little love tap in the rear. His teammate John Thacker, the attacker Cone last matter, is probably not too thrilled about that. And speaking of not thrilled, the FBR boys in trouble. Big wreck out of turn 2.
Whoa, my goodness. Yeah, big wreck out of turn 2. Big old parking lot over there.
Well, I think we need to get some instant repairs up there, my friends. This one's not looking too good. Let's take a look at the PTM instant replay. Thankfully, though, no one really got too badly hurt on this one. Looked like all the drivers were okay for the most part. But let's see what happened to Russ the full aboard Kilgore, who at the PTM instant replay. And look at this, actually. The 5 of Michael Davis ends up just driving a little bit too hard there in the corner. He gets the 91 of Kevin Kershaw. That's where Davis gets into it. And Caleb Forsythe tried to avoid, everyone else trying to get out of there and avoid, but they will have to take a little bit of damage. And sadly, that is kind of how the cookie crumbles for some of our drivers out here.
Absolutely, and you mentioned the fast repairs again tonight. They only have one of those, so all these guys get damaged early in this one. Probably not going to use them yet. Just going to sit out there with the damaged car. Here, the short track, not such a big deal to have a little bit of damage on it.
For sure there, but I mean, at the end of the day, though, if you're a driver out there, you're probably thinking to yourself, I still got to try to maintain some distance, some level of control, and hope for the best out here, which I know a lot of them are thinking about that, including this man right now, Steven Madden, that number 7. And Steven, you know, we're coming on a track here, like a short track in this case. What does it really mean to you to try to keep that car clean and try to stay out of trouble until the very last bit of this race?
It means everything. Obviously, you want to keep your car clean, and I'm doing my best to just stay out of the stuff back here, and hopefully I'll work my way up to the top 10. Here's my goal.
Certainly going to be a goal to work for and work after. So, Madden, best wishes of luck, sir.
Thanks. Have a good night.
You too. From Highline Racing, ladies and gentlemen, Steven Madden there in that number 7. We'll bring it down now and talk with one of our other drivers we know all too well around here, because he knows by now that we'll bring him in eventually from Ovalson Performance. We'll go ahead and bring him in, the Zany fam, Craig Janzik. And Janik, right now, man, you've had a little bit of company from multiple angles, but the guy you're dealing with right now may have a little thing or two to show to you here.
Yeah, we can always learn from these we'll say all-stars that drop in here. Randall, great competitor, really good representative of Legacy Esports, and great to have Brad back on track from his little his feature in what was that, season 2. He ran a couple races there, so that was great. And I'm always a big proponent for having Kale and all those, you know, the higher tier guys in here. It gives us something a little bit extra spicy to have some more fun with. And yeah, we're gonna be chasing Randall here, trying to keep Brad and Kale behind us. I have selected the wrong steering ratio, so I'm ripping a Formula wheel on 14-1 right now. So if you can send ice to Northeast Pennsylvania for after the race, that'd be great.
We'll see what we can do, but nevertheless here, I think you and your teammates could probably figure out a way to get that taken care of at the end of the race, so best of luck down there, Janzik.
Thanks, brother.
The number 40, ladies and gentlemen, on the call list now as we bring him down out of turn 3 and 4. Sparky, have at her.
All right, pace car is in. Engines are getting warmed up here. We're going to get off turn 4 here. Randall Fox is going to lead him down. Green flag back underway. We're back underway in Myrtle Beach.
Mama Beast has joined us in here tonight. Here, good to see you back as well with us. Elitha Man has joined us in for a little more showcase here as we lead him off down out of turn 3 down into turn 4. Brad Patton and Cale Gale are now looking to show the field what you do on the short tracks. This is all about timing. This is all about patience. And right now you're seeing just how clear These drivers are trying to make their name presence felt all the way on this track here.
Absolutely, definitely a lot of patience here. You just got to basically wait for the right time to make your move here. And right now, a lot of these guys just have to kind of sit back and wait a little bit until at least until the tires wear off a little bit, and then maybe they can make their move when somebody messes up.
Now, something to note as well here, folks. Back when we had the championship SummerSlam series, this was one of our tracks we had the summer slams races on. And by the way, it was for the Super Late Models, and the man that we just are on board with, 34, that being Robert the Mullet Man Lawrence, he was the winner of that race by a good margin of error, actually. So if there was a driver I had to keep my eye on that was not the top 4 you're seeing up front, it's definitely going to be him, and there's some of the other guys in the field right now.
Yeah, he's definitely proven that work. Qualified very well here tonight. He's right now running right where he started from. He's in the 5th position right now, just kind of patiently waiting there and just seeing how the race unfolds.
Speaking of being patiently waiting and figuring a thing or two out of here, looks like damage-wise, the Potato Prince himself, tuned to be the Potato King, the number 9, Eli the Wild Child. He's got a little bit of damage there on that 9 Ford Mustang Champion Power Equipment machine, but you know, this is the beauty of a short track. Sometimes you don't even need to worry about that. As long as you got enough timing and speed around here, sometimes that damage is kind of pointless. You can run it out here really hard.
Absolutely. That car kind of doesn't even look like a Ford anymore. It looks like the Ford got ripped off the front of it, so it's kind of hard to tell what it is from the front. But hey, it doesn't matter really what it looks like. As long as it drives good and runs good, that's all that matters.
The bright side, at least, it doesn't look like the next-gen cars, which I've seen as of late. Some folks are either loving or they kind of hate it. That's the only thing I know.
Well, no, currently they're the next-gen cars, by the way, testing at the Charlotte Roval currently. I've watched a little bit of that just to see how they are, and I'm pretty impressed with them so far.
I mean, for what I've seen of them, they definitely seem more like they can handle a lot better with road courses and turning in, and they seem like they have a very unique blend of street race style to how they do with normal race cars and all that in general these days. But to me, my biggest problem I have with them right now is just they still have yet really to be, shall we say, you know, have a feel, have a thought to them, as we got a little bit of a caution going on down there. Steve Madden, I'll hold that thought for a minute here. We still got 100 laps to go, but Madden, I think, may have been destroyed by my broadcaster curse. The curse lives on, ladies and gentlemen.
Looks like we had 2 kind of incidents there. Looks like we had the 7 car spinning on the front stretch, and then we had Christian Wilcox turned around in the other corner.
So we did see 7 here going into that corner and lost the control. We'll take a look at Wilcox, though, and see what happened here to that 53 machine. Now, Wilcox last night, if you joined us in here, you would know he won his very first career race, not just on PTM Racing TV, but also in the Truck Series. And I think Garth Snyder was just giving him a little reminder, like, hey, you won last night, but that was last night, but this is tonight. This is where the big leagues play, my friend. So I think he was just giving him a little idea that, hey, this is short track racing. You're going to get the fender eventually.
Absolutely, and congratulations to him. Always a good thing to always get your first win like that, and very exciting for him tonight. It's got to give him a little bit of confidence, even though that little spin out might put a little dent in that for the time being.
I would probably say at least more than a dent or two. I think it'd probably get a few dents needed to be punched out of that thing, but nevertheless, we'll take it down now and talk with some of our drivers here. We'll bring in a couple names we haven't heard from in a little bit or two. Let's see here. We're gonna go ahead and bring in Mr. Jason Taylor. We just gotta find our gentleman here. The one thing I always say about these team events here is you gotta try to go through and search for every little name, everyone in the books. Thankfully, though, when I have my phone book ready, I know who to contact, and I call up the Remington 15 Ford Mustang of Jason Taylor. Taylor, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Doing good. How you doing?
Well, pretty good, but nevertheless, bud. Down 3 spots. You had a pretty good qualifying time, though. You started 6th in the qualifying session. Is this Myrtle Beach Speedway one of the tracks you just kind of like to race on, or is this one of the first times you ever really battled at?
No, I've raced here quite a few times. I usually run decent. Don't always finish good. I tend to always get caught up in something. But no, good qualifying lap. Car's good. I'm just trying to save tires a little bit right now.
I was about to say, how bad would you say the tires get beat and tortured out here compared to some of the other drivers may have to deal with?
Yeah, right front goes pretty quick if you really abuse it. So I've just been easy getting in the corner, trying not to overdrive it. And, you know, hopefully we can get some green runs here, and then I can use that right front, but we'll see what happens.
They might need to use the right front and the right fenders, so we'll see what happens. But
Oh, yeah.
nevertheless, best luck to you, team dump and run, sir.
I tell you, I hope I have it tonight. Thanks, man.
Best of luck. All right. Get back to the racing action here. Caution lights are off on the pace car, which means now it is time to bring the drivers, the stars, and the cars back to life as they will muscle them off around the corners here of turn 1 and 2. You can just get a glimpse of how big and how many cars are on a track like this. Again, it's only a mile. I think it's like less than a mile in length, but this track is literally just designed to test even the best of drivers on any circumstantial run.
Absolutely, and now the pace car ducks on in. The green flag is back out, back underway. Randall Fox with the lead, and Cale Gale has moved himself up into second now.
Onward to the position zone here right now. All drivers coming off the corners. Then the clutch is pretty hard and fast. Some of them trying to back them down to make sure they don't burn up that right front. You heard what Jason Taylor said earlier. They want to stay away from doing too much damage out there and really keep their patience level at a minimum.
Absolutely, definitely. If you're having problems with the right front later on in the race, you're going to end up going up the hill a little bit more as those cars will start getting tight with that right front wear. So definitely, the more you can keep that right front underneath of you, the better chance you're going to handle well the whole run through.
Now there are two lines here I would say that really make or break you in a racetrack like this. With this kind of a track surface, really the turn 1 and 2 is where the most trouble is going to be, in my opinion, for openings, because you got a little bit of a unique shape in the turn. Whereas 3 and 4, you have kind of the usual short track style. I would say it's kind of reminiscent, I would say, maybe of a mix between South Boston and maybe if you mixed in New Smyrna, the way it's angled out. But turn 1 and 2 is just such a unique layout because you kind of got a little bit of a wider open angle to have to hit off of. Sparky, how much of a difference would you say as a driver that kind of hits on you? Because I know as a Super Late Model driver, it can be a little bit tricky down there.
You basically, it just depends on how you approach it, really. I don't know much. I haven't ran anything in the cup cars with these things, so I'm not sure how they would handle in this situation here. But, you know, you have two different turns. Kind of got to get that mindset of kind of like a Richmond or even a Pocono, for instance. Is like you just got to set yourself up for one turn and then set yourself a little bit differently from the others since they drive so differently.
Well, right now, currently, the way I'm seeing it and looking at it right now, it seems like most drivers are kind of doing what I would thought they would try to do with these cup cars, which is they'll try to center them off a little higher up on the back stretches, and then they'll bring them back down the bottom, more towards the middle lane, bottom lane at times. So you'll have kind of a double wide racing angle, but I'd say probably the toughest part is trying to work off that bottom line going off into turn 1 and 2, because the thing is, those turtles down there, yeah, they're not very friendly either. They can get you at the worst of times, and they certainly like to destroy a few cars when they can. As you can see, just the narrowness of that bottom lane in 3 and 4. But watch as we're on board here with the Marauder James Harris. Watch as they come down, and you can see those turtles. You hit them. Well, let's just say that car is not going to be doing too well with anything for a while. It might get a little bit of a back sore after that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I tell you what, I've done in the super late model and even the regular late model too. Hitting them bottom turtles down there, it does mess up your front end of your car quite a bit if you hit them hard enough. And with these cars, I can just only imagine what it could do.
Absolutely, they're going on board here with Kyle Holden for just a minute because our friend Tracy Holden has joined us in. Tracy, good to have you on board. She's rooting for the number 12 here tonight. And currently, as our yellow flag flies back on out, there are all sorts of problems down there. Robert Gillard in the 54, all over the place. Problems for him, and I think problems for other drivers out here. But we did have a little bit of a green flag stint there, but I got a feeling that's not what these drivers are after. They want more than just one green flag stint. What they want, all the green flag stint.
Absolutely, they definitely want to have, definitely want to get some green flag running in. These cautions, they just slow things down and really don't get that long run. Of course, you know what happened last week? We had cautions early, and then we ended up with a long run at the end. It ended up in a fuel mileage race. So we'll have to see.
We will indeed have to see here, as right now our field gets kind of stretched back into position, kind of stretched off on the track here. We'll see what happens here. So looks like Randall Fox will stay out a little longer, so his strategy looks to be coming into full perspective, but everybody behind him seems to have a different idea, and one of them just so happens to be a little old marauder named James Harris. Harris, how you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, man.
All right, so right now you're kind of going the strategy of the Randall Fox and the Kevin Awards here. What's going on down there? Because we know we've heard about the tire burning here. Are you guys just trying to save up and see what happens, or what do you got going on?
Yeah, the tires seem to burn up pretty quick here. That's why we pitted on that lap 31 caution. We knew if there was a caution the next 10 or 15 laps, most of the people probably pit, and my team decided to stay out and got our track position back. So we'll see what we can do from here forward.
Absolutely there. So, nevertheless, good to have you back on board and good to hear from you once more. We'll see if the Green Mountain Girl number 4 has something to say to these other guys out here.
We're going to give it our best shot.
All right. Best of luck, sir.
Thank you.
3Y Motorsports, ladies and gentlemen, the Marauder, James Harris. All right, we're going to go ahead and take it down now to someone who usually has a flying mullet somewhere around here. And, of course, I am talking about the mullet man, Robert Lawrence. And Robert, tonight as you come into this event, you are one of the guys that I think a lot of people have their eye on because of your battles and your victories here at Myrtle Beach Speedway, concerned back to the Champion Power Equipment SummerSlam Series.
Yeah, it seems to be pretty good for me. It seemed fairly quick. It's just a matter keeping all the 750, all the ponies down on the ground. It's a little sketchy.
It certainly can be a little sketchy, a little bit difficult, but so far it seems to be hanging in there. Can this thing go to the distance, you think?
Oh yeah, we can hang tough. It's just a matter of who can make the least amount of mistakes. It seems a very one-lane track, so just gotta capitalize on the other guy's mistakes in front and see what we can do.
For sure there. Best of luck down there, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right. Race fans, we're getting back to the action here in just a minute. When we come back, more racing to be had from Myrtle Beach Speedway. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, has been brought to you in part by our good friends over at Champion Power Equipment. You guys need the right tools for the right job. There's only one brand and name you can trust. That's Champion Power Equipment. Visit them up on their website, championpowerequipment.com. Get some generators, get yourself some power sources you need for your next equipment day and your field day around. Champion Power Equipment is the best way to go. So here we go. Time to get back to the action. Drivers are leading them off, and the charge is away. It's time to go racing again.
Green flag back in the air. Randall Fox and Kevin Ward on the front row this time as they stayed out on them old tires. We'll see how they can handle it as everybody else is going to try to chase them down.
Brian Aronzo, the 77, the former Truck Series, the reigning defending Truck Season champion. Not able to run this season in this case here, but he is certainly going to be trying to put up a fight down there as we go 3 wide, saluting in between. Man Beast lies in the wake and lies on the sights, and you can see just how hard he is turning down his tires in straight left. He's trying to get this thing to dial up a bit and trying to dial him off, but you can see the factory Canopy Curb Records machine, that of the 40, any fan Craig Janzik has been pretty much hanging in with them and keeping them pretty good on the distance zone here.
Definitely, indeed, it is. And right now, I'm actually impressed by the leader, Fox and Ward, right now, able to hold their own up there in first and second on them old tires. I'm very, very intrigued by this. Wow, Fox is pulling out to a heck of a lead.
Yeah, I'm honestly kind of thinking that with the way Harris even said too, he did pit on lap 31. So despite the fact that he has a little bit of more wear and tear on the tires, he seems to be not really minding it too much or really even caring that much. As we go to a yellow flag caution, we got trouble. We were going to pull up our pit stops here and see what was going on, but we got trouble down there. Whoa. Whole lot of trouble. Taylor, Pearson, and I think Givens might have gotten in that one. That's a lot of drivers involved in this one.
Yeah, it looked like a big old mess over there.
Look like a bigger mess than anything you see from a fall brawl these days. And for the record, folks, that was a WCW reference, anything else.
Well, might as well. I mean, we already had SummerSlam mentioned, so.
Yes! I was about to say, well, here's what happened. The Man Beast, he about got sent to the Shadow Realm. Somehow he avoids it, but Taylor, the one that started it, well, let's just say he wasn't so lucky.
No, that doesn't look like the case. Not so lucky at all.
Bit of a tough situation there, unfortunately. Kind of get himself caught off guard and into the bit of a mess he goes, but nevertheless, field will get stretched back into position here. We're going to go back to the call list. Now, Sparky, you know I like talking about the other teams around here, and I love fleecing the fans, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, there's one guy that was being asked earlier on if maybe we can bring him in and Well, my friend Tracy, we're bringing him in now. It is Kyle Holden on the line here, and Kyle, the Rusty Motorsports crew, currently still hanging in there, but there's a lot of work to be done tonight, isn't there?
Oh yeah, this track is it's a definite tough one. It's going to be a definite workout here. Just trying to keep it safe, keep myself clean, and hope I don't get in any wrecks so I don't go a lap down, really. That's pretty much it.
Well, the way the tires are handling and the way the car is, how long do you think a long green flag run could last before that right front or any of those tires just burn up and you just can't get it going anymore?
I think if we can get a long green run in, we can do probably about like 40 to 45 laps until we see another caution, but it seems to be somewhere around the 20 lap range where we get some issues going on the track.
Definitely there. Well, but nevertheless, though, we do appreciate your time and insight here. We'll see what happens for you and the crew here.
Thank you.
Rusty Motorsports, ladies and gentlemen, the number 12, that is Kyle Holden. Well, since somebody had forced a hand again and somehow hacked my software, there's only one way to know about this for sure, and that's usually that rascally wabbit down there that always keeps messing with my stuff. It's usually John Thacker's to blame, and right now, Thacker, I think the Good Scrapper Gremlins got back at you for that one, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm paying taxes on something. I gotta get the book of speed out, I guess, and start reading.
Yep. Thankfully, I have the Excel Chronicles verse 8 of 7 ready to go. You can read that off whenever you're ready, bud.
Oh man, I don't. What's that? Is that the man who trades stability for speed deserves neither?
No, it's the man who sold the world. Are you not listening to Nirvana?
I'm not. Not in a while. I mean, I have. How'd you like that ending last night?
Nope, certainly wasn't ending. We felt kind of bad though for you, man. Hopefully things are not as bad tonight here. We should probably let you back to the racing here, shouldn't we?
Nah, I can talk and drive, buddy. I'm kind of hurt my feelings. I can't get no slower. But no, this turned out better than I thought it was going to be, and look forward to putting on a good show for you guys. And, go NPR.
Well, you guys are loud and clear. NPR going to still try to hang in there. Thanks, Thacker.
All right, man. I appreciate it.
That cat is something else there, Sparky.
Yes, he is, and that takes a lot of talent to be able to talk and drive at the same time with the green flag coming out. So yeah, he is one cool cat.
I do it for nothing. I mean, you gotta remember when we were back on, when we were starting PTM Racing TV, we was just pretty much sometimes having to stream from the in-car, and I was just talking about the race at times. I told him I do it for nothing.
Oh my! Well, speaking of doing it for nothing right now we got a new leader up front.
What do you mean? We're racing for keeps up there? Kale Gale taking the race lead.
Oh, the 88 car's around on the front stretch.
He's around the front straightaway. Gar Snyder's coming to a scratching halt. This Red Bull machine unfortunately caught in the mix of things. Look out down behind. We got the 19 in the wall. Brett touching Sean Bounty crashing on the back straightaway.
And that one will bring out the caution at this point. Wow.
Looking like a bit of a circumstance there coming off the back straightaway. Can't quite see where everything transpired at. So, as you may know already, send it down to the PTM Instant Replay. All right, here's what happened. It's pretty simple. You go 3 wide into turn 1 and 2, right? That doesn't work. So what do? You try to gas on it, but unfortunately, Charlie Barlett in the 81 gave a little love tap to the 29 of Man Beast, and the Man Beast, like a rhino, just charged right up and unfortunately knocked down the 19 like he was just a walking tree stump.
Absolutely, pretty much body slammed him, I guess you'd say, if you want to keep using wrestling references tonight.
Do you always have a wrestling reference I have to keep going off of with you tonight?
Hey, you started it.
Well, I didn't start nothing, all right. They're the ones that call it the SummerSlam series, so I had to throw a reference in there somewhere. Well, anyway, let's get back to the action. Try to keep it real with you guys, but yeah, we're gonna have a little fun around here on PTM Racing TV while we're under caution. So, but nevertheless, here we're trying to see if maybe we can have a little whistle in from Richard Fornshell. Looks like he is saying to us point blank, no, we don't want to talk. That's okay. We found a way to talk with him anyway. From Team Dump and Run, ladies and gentlemen, Richard Fornshell on the line now. Richard, definitely a bit of a run here for you and the team. You're back where you started in qualifying. How's the car handling out there?
It's handling pretty good right now. There was a couple times there running on the outside of Lorenzo that I got a little bit loose. It was a little bit scary for a second, but I mean overall, car's handling great.
It certainly is indeed. So that Sure Feet Pitbull number 94 Mustang. Maybe you got a little word on that sponsor there. Any word for that by chance, or?
Yeah, so their company, they make different pet products and everything, and it's all like based on the microchip that you put in their neck. So, you know, you got a cat that has a different food, you can chip them up, and only they can get to the food.
Well, you guys are loud and clear. That is a surefire way to get your cat and your animal ready for some new food. So, but nevertheless, Marshall, great to have you back on board, and good to hear from you once more.
Thanks, man. Take care.
You too. The number 90 there, Richard Fornshell, on the call with us here. And again, we do not talk with the big guys here like Cale Gale and Grant Enfinger when they're around in the race. We'll talk with them afterwards, but we do not mess with them when they're on the track, because believe me, it's already difficult enough even thinking about what's going on the track and needing to use team communication and all that. So be very well aware of that, folks.
All right, looks like the lights are back out on top of the pace car. By the way, folks, we just got the cross flags not too long ago. We are halfway through this race.
Halfway through this race already, and it's been a barn burner. It's been a fight and a half. That's what y'all want in short track racing. As we wheel and deal them off of turn 3 to 4, you know what time it is.
Exactly. Pace car's in. Green flag's out. We're back underway. Cale Gale was going to lead them off down into turn 1.
Danny Fan, Craig Janzik in the 10 of Brad Patton will fire off as well. Patton trying to corner off, do a little crossover, leading down the backstretch.
Coming down into turn 3 and 4. Cale Gale still holding off in the lead as they go 2, almost a couple, maybe a 3-wide salute back there. No, not quite yet. They'll get it back down to 2 as they get another lap in.
Double deep, 3-wide salute. Kevin Ward gets up 4-wide going to the dirt. That's not a good sign. Look out, look out.
Oh boy.
And now it's a cleanup on aisle 2, because unfortunately Jacob Givens in the 2112 of Kevin Ward and the 91 of Kevin Kersher. Oh man. And Kevin right now probably not too happy with his teammate for bumping him in there a little bit more there. Kind of just doing more harm than good, unfortunately, there. But that was a tough break there for all drivers involved in that one. What a wild mess here. Let's take a look at the PTM replay. Now, Sparky, this really all started because Kevin Ward had some company with Kyle Holden and Brian Lorenzo sneaking in. And then you saw the 44, that being manned and driven by Matthew Johnson. Both drivers just kind of got cluttered in there, and unfortunately Givens gets the end of it. And Kevin, he's going to have a little bit of cleanup to do on that car, but I think the worst part for him is he's going to have a lot of work to do to get back into the fight.
Absolutely. He got spun right in the middle of the racetrack there, and just nowhere for anybody else to go at that point. That's the thing about this racetrack, it just seems like if somebody gets in trouble right in the middle of the racetrack, you're going so fast, it's just so hard to get slowed down enough to avoid the accident.
It seems like it too, and it just kind of boils down to just, you know, who can be able to outwit and outstretch that kind of runoff and that kind of momentum as we now take it down here with the 24 Exalted Ford Mustang of Nathan Meyer. Meyer, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Doing pretty good, man. How about yourself?
Well, we're doing pretty all right. Well, nevertheless, though, bud, you've had a little bit of a fender bender, a little bumping and banging in between here. We've seen you can definitely hold your own with these guys, but right now, though, I got a feeling you're probably wanting a little bit more than just getting up 5 spots here tonight.
Yeah, man. Bought the track 2 minutes before the session started, so still learning it. I'm second in points right now, and I'm down 30 horsepower, so we're just doing what we can.
Down 30 horsepower, just bought the track 2 minutes. Sounds like a usual Nathan Meyer thing.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, but appreciate you coming on board here tonight, though, for you and your team at Oval Sim Performance, sir.
Yes, sir. Thanks so much.
Oh, man. How many times do we, in a broadcast, we always make the joke, like, we're going to hear someone say, oh, I just bought the track like 2 minutes ago, and somehow they're dominating this thing.
Yeah, exactly.
I swear, we hear it more often than not, folks. I'm not even kidding you. Go back and watch some of these other broadcasts. We had some folks that just said, oh, we just bought the track, try it out. I like it. It's starting to really go good. And it seems like, yeah, I'm having a hard time believing if it's actually true or not.
Yeah, it definitely gets the eyebrows raising on that, because you didn't get hardly any practice on the track or anything like that. You're running that good? I don't know about that.
And Tony Westcott dropping another Iowa joke in there. He says another hot pocket got dropped. Tony, you gotta come up with something a little bit better than that, because I know it's Iowans don't just say that all the time.
Oh my, speaking of Hot Pockets, we're about ready to get the Hot Pocket fired back up in the oven here as we're back ready to get 1 to green here.
Wait. Did you just say the oven?
The oven, yes.
It's
sir,
supposed to
the
be
oven.
you microwave a Hot Pocket. Oh my. Just get the green, folks. Let's go back racing, please, before I lose it with him.
Back to green flag and back to the Cale Gale show as he's up front with Craig Jazanik right there with him in second.
Robert the Mullet Man, Lawrence the 34, and Brad Patton going to go at it side by side with one another here. Patton trying to get a jump off out of turn 4, looking for an opening from the Mullet Man, but he does not quite get it going on the front straightaway. Still a good, clean side by side battle, double deep on some of these variants here. Everybody looking for a chance of striking it big while they can.
Absolutely, it's definitely a battle between the blue oval Fords and the Chevys right now, with Patton and Harris both in the top 5 in Chevys, with the top 3 in Fords.
Steven Gibson, the number 21 Toyota Camry right now, hanging in there with Kyle Holden, the number 12. Both drivers are with the Rusty Motorsports crew. They're trying to keep their team hopes alive. Meanwhile, Brock Whitehead seems to be having some more troubles with the glitch graphic gremlins than we used to have around here. He's currently blinking in and out a little bit, and as the youngest driver right now in this series, he may not want that to happen too often enough, because this is seemingly a race tonight that is giving him quite a bit of an advantage and quite a bit of a chance of finding it out with them.
Absolutely. Right now he's trying to make a pass on the bottom there under the 8 machine there of Sheldon Pearson. And so far he has not just been able to complete that pass.
Pearson last night came so close to finally knocking that one race off the list that he wanted so badly, and that was a race win on PTM Racing TV. Just fell short. Thacker even got kind of caught off in the mixed set, so did Janzik on the restart. Everybody just getting in and out of shape there coming out of turn 2 last time out that we were here with this on the Green Mountain Grill Fast Fun Truck Series. But tonight, as these guys kind of switch it out to more of a short track basis, really, to me, I'm not seeing much of a difference when it comes to how they were handling it over at Daytona and Talladega. This is still the close corner, fighting it out, battle for position kind of race that they want to see and they want to have happen.
Yeah, pretty much you put it quite lightly here, where it's just the best of the best at this point here at this racetrack. You just got to have a lot of patience, a lot of finesse, and just be able to tough it out, and that's what these guys are looking for here tonight.
Absolutely indeed. Here, coming on board here as well, Richard Plants joins us in. Been to this track hundreds of times. Richard, it's an honor to have you on board here tonight, and good to hear some of the other fellow fans out there that were down with this track when it was in operations and with us in our time of needs and our time of racing. Unfortunately, as you kind of can guess already, folks, it has been unfortunately, or will be completely torn down eventually, and this honestly is probably one of the landmark tracks that really was needed to be put on iRacing sooner rather than later, and I'm glad they got it in here the same way they did with like North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, absolutely. They were able to get it in here before that announcement was made that they were going to close it down and tear it apart, so at least they were able to get it all scanned in and everything, so that way at least these drivers can enjoy the moments here at this racetrack that's no longer going to be a part of us anymore.
Yes, that is the case indeed here, but again, there's one thing we've always said, at the end of the day, there is still a way to bring this track back to life eventually, or someone can bring somewhat of a resurgence of it in the future. As long as you find a way to do that, it will come back to life eventually, and that's unfortunately it's not going to be the same here for what's going on in turn 3 and 4. Matthew Johnson and Sheldon Pearson involved in a big wreck here on the corner.
Yep, I was just catching the middle of that as you was talking there. It looks like the 44 car may have tagged the 8. We'll have to go to the PTM instant replay to look at that for certain, but that's what it looked like from my point of view.
Well, right now, as the way we look at this here, I think you might be onto something here, Sparky. Here's another look at it from the replay version. The 8 coming off the corner gets a good run there. The Peeman Suns had a lot of charge, but you can see he drops it back down low. Didn't realize where the 44 was at. Johnson gets kind of crossways, trying to save it and stay out of the way, and well, I guess you could say it was kind of a shield there from the 5 of Michael Davis, as 8 of Sheldon Pearson took all that blunt there. So while drivers go into pit road real quick, we'll go ahead and cut to one more quick commercial break. When we come back, The action's just kicking up here. We're ready to finish this race out, but who will be coming out on top? Find out when we return. Tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen, has been brought to you in part by the good friends over at Champion Power Equipment. You guys need the next set of tools or next set of generators or anything that you need for your next day-to-day operations? Well, there's only one branded name that we trust in, and it is Champion Power Equipment. Be sure to visit them up at their website, championpowerequipment.com. Check out their local listings on their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram handles and see where you can get your next best set for your day-to-day operations. So as the field gets ready to stretch back in now, we're going to go ahead and have a listen in from our drivers as they come off of pit road. I think we're going to bring in the Barletta camp now, sir. All right, he joins us now in from Alco Hooligan Motorsports. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Harley Barletta, the 81, and that Chevrolet Camaro. And right now, the Kodak 81 has been either kind of in the receiving end of a little bump and tag, or stayed out of trouble, or you end up kind of finding yourself kind of right near trouble, Harley. Has this been a little bit of a luckiness for you tonight, or has it just been kind of staying focused and watching out for the rest?
Yeah, some of it's been luck. I mean, we've been looking out for stuff to happen in front of and behind us. We're just kind of riding right now, waiting for it to get a little closer to the end here.
Certainly indeed here, but nevertheless, what do you think? You think you probably had to take a little bit of a bumper or two to start pushing things around here to get to the front?
Yeah, for a minute there, I thought I was going to move the guy in front of me, but I don't know. Definitely I have to move somebody to make a pass or wait for him to make a mistake, but I don't think you can wait.
Well, you guys are loud and clear. It's a contact sport for a reason, so Harley Barletta, thank you for tuning in.
Thanks, man.
The 81 there going to look to try and do that and then some here. And race fans, as we get back to the action here, we're going to remind you at home, thank you for tuning in, for coming on board here with us at PTM Racing TV. If you guys do enjoy the show and you do enjoy the content, well, simply just like and follow us up here on Facebook. And while you're at it, come help us out and go over to our YouTube, subscribe there. We'll try to build that up. You will have exclusive content come tomorrow night. I'll have more on that at the very end of this race here, but you will also have exclusive content come on Sunday night for the live stream sessions. More on that as well in a minute. But for now, we got to keep the action going, keep the pace feeling. And Sparky, I think you know how to start it up these things, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. But looks like, unfortunately, we're going to have to wait another lap. It looks like the race control has come out and brought the caution out for yet another lap, trying to get everybody sorted out here. So we'll have to wait just a little bit longer on that green flag.
Did the flagman not say that these guys were ready to go? Was the officials down there not listen to the flagman? You always listen to the flagman.
No, he's still got that yellow out for now, but hopefully he'll tuck it away this time and we'll get back going.
Well, there's only one way to make sure we get back on this time. Watch for the pace car to come in. There you see it. And it's time to bring the stars and the cars back to the front and back in on the attack.
Absolutely. We're getting ready for the green flag. Brad Patton now is your leader. He did not pit this time. Green flag back out on the way as him and Jason Taylor are both going to lead the field down this time.
Oh, and he didn't just run away from the whole field. He just watched the guys behind him get into a bit of a mess. Kevin Ward, the 112. He tried to stay out there and make it last. He just got sent out of here. He's like, hey, wait a minute, what are you doing down there? The 5-0, Michael Davis goes for a ride. Ouch. That did not look good at all. Kevin Ward getting right in the mix of the things, and unfortunately Michael Davis got smack dab right in the middle of it, and the whole field tried to avoid it, tried to stay out of it. Unfortunately, though, they were not able to get out of that quick enough, and the caution must fly. What a hard wreck, though, for these guys. Good Lord.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kevin Ford did a good job there. He stayed up on the outside. When he got out of the groove, stayed up near the wall. He held his spot. That was just unfortunate that not everybody could avoid him there.
Yeah, I mean, he was trying to avoid everything. You're trying to stay out of the way, but again, short track racing, that will do that to you. You just can't escape it sometimes. It just happens. I mean, obviously, I know nobody wants that to happen, and nobody wants to ever see that happen, and Michael Davis just blew the motor. The 5 is gone. He's got to get that thing in the pit road now.
Now, hopefully he hasn't used his fast repair yet. Hopefully he can just get that fast repair in. If not, he's going to be on pit road for quite some time.
He's going to be in there for a little bit of a time or two. That is certainly for sure. But nevertheless, we'll take it down now and try to bring some more drivers in. Next up on the chopping block here from Wolfenson Performance. Give it up now for the young driver here in the 82, Matt O'Toole, Mustang 82. It's Brock Whitehead. How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Not much, sir. As I'm still waiting to see if you ever rock a CLM movement machine on that scheme here. You seem to be hanging out there with some of the top guys, and the bad boys here. But right now, is the car you feel set more for that top 20 run, or do you feel like it's more top 5 in your case?
Yeah, I'm really shooting for top 15 if I can. I'm not trying to go for anything crazy. I started in the back and I'm up to 16th, but yeah, I'm feeling pretty confident for at least a top 15, maybe a top 10 at the most, but not going to push anything too hard.
Certainly there indeed, but nevertheless, though, obviously still a lot of laps left. Do you think there's still enough time, or do you think maybe this could come down to the wire?
Yeah, I think there's still quite a bit of time. Hopefully there's not too many more wrecks, but we'll just see.
We certainly will indeed, but nevertheless, Brock, appreciate your time here, sir.
Thank you.
From Olsen Performance here, race fans, that was Mr. Brock Whitehead coming on board, and I think now's a good time, better than anything, to bring in one of our old friends here, the Man Beast, William Mann Jr. How you doing, buddy?
Yo, man, just trying not to get too much more dented up than I already am.
I was about to say, you got Mama Beast joining in, and I know Papa Beast is somewhere around here kind of watching you in, but nevertheless, obviously, last night, a bit of a hard racing run there at Daytona, and coming in tonight, what was the strategy for you and the crew?
The opposite of whatever the hell happened at the end of Daytona, but real quick, big shout out to Mama Beast. It's her birthday today, big 59.
Oh, Lord, she knows I'm going to give her one when she gets here.
Heck yeah, sounds good, man.
All right, Man Beast, good luck, buddy. We'll get you back into the show.
Sounds good, man.
The 3Y Motorsports, the number 29 of the Man Beast. While I go ahead and find Mama Beast, Sparky, take it away.
Green flag back underway. Here we go once more. Brad Patton with the lead right now.
And right now, to Eli Man, Mama Beast in the house. Happy birthday, sweetie. Always a pleasure to have you on board, and I'm glad to finally hear you've hit the spot that Man Beast had to call it out on. So, 59 years young. That honestly is an age I don't even know if I'll ever be able to get to, but I would love to get to it.
I'm getting closer to that. Not quite there yet, but getting closer. But we'll see.
I'm not asking how old you are. I don't even want to know sometimes with you, bud.
We'll just keep that in the back right now. We're back to the race, and oh, there goes Nathan Meyer around on the front straightaway.
Nathan Meyer on the front straightaway crashed in. Apparently, everyone else thought the same thing. Why are you running that big 24 scheme with a Ford Mustang of all things? That's like sacrilegious, sir.
I tell you what, though, he didn't hit the wall, actually. He did a good job of saving it from not hitting the wall, so good job and now we got a caution out now.
I was about to say, one hit the wall, but the other did, and unfortunately, the same can't be said for that 27, Rick Sargent, coming to a dead screeching halt on the back straightaway. We'll take him to the PTM replay, check this one out. Looks like he actually had quite a few moments here. We're going to start from the very beginning here. Take a look at the chopper cam here now with the number 27. Pay close attention to this. He comes off out of turn 4, and here's what happens. He's already having to avoid trouble here with the Man Beast William Mann Jr. Look at him just kind of drive it down in. He actually smacks the wall going into turn 1. Straightens it out, though, but as he comes off turn 2, well, you can see why turn 1 and 2 is extremely difficult to work around, and unfortunately, he was not able to evade and escape what was to happen.
As a wise man once said, that looked like a whole bunch of problems.
I'm not sure if a wise man once said that or an old man said it apparently on our show.
I'll let that one slide.
All right, bring it in, mid-back racing, ladies and gentlemen. The number 2, Russ the Full Bore Kilgore. And Kilgore, this has been pretty much an up and down kind of night for you and the NPR crew. Obviously, last night had a lot of memorable moments and a lot of hard racing, but here you seem to be kind of trying to hold the fort down with you and Thacker here in the pack. What's going on down there?
Yeah, we're pretty beat up, but got some fresh tires, a full tank of fuel. Let's see if I can follow John through and get up to the top 10 here. It's tough place to pass.
It really is a tough place to pass, but if you had to choose one spot that you could pass on, where would you try to go for? Would it be the inside, or would you try to make that outside line stick and try to force somebody down there?
No, definitely the outside. You can drive it in a little bit. You got that full couple grooves to kind of do that little, do a little diamond move on them and get some speed going. So definitely the outside for sure.
Certainly there. Well, nevertheless, here, Kilgore, appreciate you coming on board here tonight. And we'll see if you can get back to the outside and make these drivers pay for it.
All right, got plenty of fenders left, so.
Thank you there, Kilgore.
All right, thanks, man.
Oh, man, I tell you what, we're getting ready to get back to the action, and this one just it continues to creep on, man. It just seems like we're just going from one side to the other, and we never stop. That's kind of the wildness of the Champion Power Equipment Fast Fun Cup Series. It's awesome, but at the same time, it gets kind of crazy and frenetic out here, doesn't it, Dustin?
Yeah, definitely a lot of action here. You get running for a couple of laps, and then you get some kind of crazy zany stuff going on, and then you get back to some good racing after a while, and it's just get a little bit of everything here in this series, and it's really good to have that.
Mama B's still watching. She's appreciating the compliment here of her happy birthday and all that. So she says she's still got lots to do. Well, right about now there, Mama B, we have a lot to do still because you may see that lap counter. It may not seem like much, but I'll tell you one thing. 25 laps on a track like this, there's a lot you can do with that. Onward to the green flag restart. Back underway we go.
There you go, Brad Pat.
No,
wait. Up. Never mind.
What on earth do we do here? Did they not see the green flag come out? Are we not ready yet?
Must have been one of them animals must have came across the racetrack or something.
Man, what animals are down here? I don't even know what kind of animals live in this state.
Oh, probably a hermit crab or something like that.
A hermit crab? Really?
Well, NASCAR throws cautions for no reason, so why not?
I have no comment to that. I was going to make a hermit joke because you apparently say you're so old you act like a hermit, but never mind.
Okay, I'll let that one slide too.
Alright. Let's try to somehow get back to professionalism here and get back to the racing. So, we're going to get this one fielded in. We still have 23 laps that need to be completed here, race fans. So, as they bring them off out of turn 2, the 83 of Kale Gale getting ready to start the field up again. Brad Patton on the outside. You can see there are two different ideals here. You got the heavy hitters up front, and then you got the guys that are trying to get back into the midst of this thing. Which one of them comes out on top? Only one way to know, and that's to race under the green of the night. The flag is out. We're back underway.
Flag out this time by, and we're going to send him off into turn 1 and come off to turn 2. Mr. Patton's still holding serve.
They are indeed here right out of the gate, though. Robert, you can see up on the outside there, Robert Fox is starting to make the charge. He knows laps are winding down. Kale Gale going to the inside, looking for a runoff on Brad Patton. Patton, though, managing to defend him up. Oh, big wreck right in front of him on the front straightaway. Oh, and Brock Whitehead even getting clobbered in there a little bit. That, good Lord almighty, huge wreck here in the front straightaway, and it just turned into a nightmare for some of the top-tier drivers of all things.
Yeah, it looks like James Harris might have been involved in that. I saw one car where I saw the undercarriage of the car there. It looked like one car might have flipped over.
I think that might have actually been James Harris there that you saw. We knew it was. He did get involved in that wreck. Let's take a look at the PTM instant replay. Yikes, what a mess here. So Lawrence gives a love tap there to the 15 and Jason Taylor. And Falk's trying to avoid trouble. Actually, that was Jason Taylor that got into it. Falk's trying to get out of there, but unfortunately he ends up connecting with the 4. And I think it was giving him a little kiss on the nose there on the front end of the hood. And I think Harris was maybe telling him he's his #1 fan for that one. Hard to really say, but that was definitely a tough situation there for these guys.
Yeah, I got a feeling there's a little bit of blood boiling right now after that.
I'm not saying nothing because I'm going to keep my mouth shut and out of trouble on that one.
Oh my, what a mess that was. Boy, that's going to be a tough break for all those guys. That was the guys that was up in the top 10 that had trouble. So that's going to be hard for them to come all the way from the back with less than, what we got here, about 19 laps to go now.
It is really. That's going to be kind of that's going to be that old circumstance we talked about here before on PTM Racing TV where things can just get a little bit sided towards one way and then towards the other. And as we talk now with one of the drivers that are involved in some of that here earlier on, and Jacob Givens. Givens, I know this has not been the best night in circumstances for you, but the thing is you still are going up 15, 14 spots up throughout the field here. Really, Does the damage on the front end of that car kind of do you any better or worse here when it comes to trying to catch some of these guys?
Man, I don't know. My car was really bad when I got that first set of damage, and I took my fast repair, and then obviously got caught in a wreck again within a lap later. We'll see. I mean, this one here, I was going pretty good forward again, and then guys can't hold their brakes. I don't know what's going on. Just stuff keeps happening in front of us.
It certainly does indeed, but nevertheless, you're still fighting and still giving it everything she's got out there. Is there anything really you're going to try to aim for here for position-wise, or are you just going to see where the cars play?
Going to keep clawing forward and see what we can get. I'd like to just get out of here with a decent finish, but at this point, I've already been wrecked so many times, I'm just going to go for it.
Absolutely. Well, nevertheless, Bud, appreciate your time here with the Alco Hooligan Motorsports, sir.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
The number 20, ladies and gentlemen, Jacob Givens coming on board on the line as our field gets ready to stack them back up here.
I believe we're going to get the one to go this time. Right. Nope. Yep. Well, there goes the lights off the pace cars. We are going to rack them up and stack them up again.
Rack stack, put them back on the attack. 16 laps will remain on the restart here. The Zandy fan, Craig Janzik, and KO Gale. Well, now where have I heard that story come before?
It's almost like deja vu all over again.
Last time these two went to war with one another, it was back at Sonoma, where they were literally 1 and 2 equally for a good chunk of that race. That was when they were in Next Gen Cup cars, though. They are in the regular series NASCAR Gen 6s right now as they wheel them off. Kale will set the tone and set the field. Off to the restart. They are back underway.
Boy, what a restart by Gale. He took off like a rocket as he comes off of turn number 2. Craig Janik dropped back into second spot, and the Mullet Man is running in third.
91 Cavacashur now starting to move in the chains, move up there with the Richard Fornshell. The number 90 as Jason Taylor this time at least stays out of trouble and stays off that wall protection. I guess whatever happened under the undercarriage, he seemed to put it back together again because it is working all right now. Last winding off as the 9 of Eli the Wild Child gets a little piece of it here, but Sheldon Pearson once more gets caught in the wrecks.
Yep, that looks like we've got more trouble back there. Caution's going to come back out here. We'll have to take a look and see what happened on the PTM replay.
Well, right now I'll tell you that Jacob Givens here, unfortunately, might not be too happy with the broadcaster curse. I think he may have been cursed once again. And I swear, folks, I put the voodoo dolls away when we started doing these broadcasts again, so you can't say it's intentional at all. So here's what happened, though. 20 gets a little bit too close to the 27, but Caleb Forsythe finds out that the mid-pack racing boys were also here, and unfortunately, they all kind of got mixed into things. Givens a little bit frustrated and annoyed, ends up just kind of driving it way too hard out of turn 2, and slides the car out completely. I don't believe he lost position, though, from that. I think he will be able to get some of his spots back, but it's hard to say in this case with the way the short track officials are being here.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a tough break for the 20 of Jacob Gibbons here, and a tough break for a couple of folks here tonight. Christian is starting to get a little high here. We have Austin Hable's out of the race currently. Georgie Young has called it quits early here tonight. Gar Snyder, Michael Davis as well after that big wreck he had. So Christian a little bit high here tonight.
They are certainly indeed here, but man, they're giving it everything they can, still fighting out there. So you got to give them credit where credit's due. At least they're going to go for broke and go for it all. As we bring in one of our Go Fast Motorsports guys right now, let's talk here with the number 35, Tyler Meeks. And Meeks, the last time we saw you, sir, you were in the podium here last time out, but now things have changed here with the Cup Series and the short track racing finally unveiling itself at you, isn't it?
Much for this little small track, in my opinion. You really can't do anything, at least when you get ran over by the guys that want to dive bomb you. But got the quick lane Ford Mustang out here today. Happy they're on board with us. I think I have the freshest set of tires, so I'm going to get aggressive here the last 10 laps and try to make my way up there like everybody else has been doing.
Absolutely. Well, nevertheless, appreciate your time, and we'll see how the cookie crumbles for you here.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can hear in his voice there too, folks, just to give you a good idea of just how frustration factors in and how all that hard work goes into a driver's mindset. You can hear in their voice. They are just disheveled, they're hurting, and frankly, they're ready to just kind of get this one into a good field position, a good runoff, but that's just how difficult it is to really make or break a season.
Yeah, absolutely, especially now that we've got a couple races under our belt now, and now, you know, points are starting to become more of a premium at this point as further we go along. And yeah, it's got to be frustrating to some of these guys, especially some that are, you know, looking for top 10s and top 5s and trying to be more consistent. And, you know, it's just not working out for them because of stuff sometimes out of their control.
It really is indeed, but nevertheless here, as we say on the show all the time, the show will forever and must always go on. Off the corners of 3 into 4, and this time by, will they be able to finish this one out? They have 9 laps to get done.
9 laps to get done. Cale Gale showing the way. Greg Jazanik in second spot. Jason Taylor looks like being shown in third, but that's where the battle is currently.
Right up to the front here, the Mullen man, Robert Lawrence, one last attack here, trying to give everything she's got. Harley Barletta, you heard him say earlier on, he'll put a bumper if he has to. He had Kyle Holden right in sights, but Holden managing to hold his line down. And look at Kevin Kershaw right on the bottom. He is moving the chains as they go literally with a big wreck right up front. We got Rick Sargent around, and we got a few others around. Randolph.
Caution's going to come right back out again.
Randall Fox is involved in that one too. The 98 has come to a sudden halt. We'll take a look at the PTM Instant Replay once again here and see what transpired here. I think this might be the contribution of just the fact that we're on a short track and how many laps are left out here. Let's just say that much.
Totally agree.
Now the 27 did crashed in. I think right there, Pearson was trying to evade and avoid, and unfortunately Fox kind of ran out of room. But we do know the main reason was brought out because of the 27 Rick Sargent. So we're going to take a look at the replay on his end as well. This time we're going to go ahead to our little drone cam down here. I always love putting this thing off. Drivers can't see it, but we can see it. So
yeah, it's such a unique view. I like that.
And looks like my curse is still alive down here. Meeks unfortunately got tagged there by the unfortunately tagged the 27, and Sargent had just nowhere to go, unfortunately. I'm not gonna lie, Sparky. I think I might need to actually just get out of the booth one of these days and just let you call it. So that way I know it's not just me that's getting the broadcaster curse out to people.
No, because I know a couple weeks ago I was, you know, keeping an eye on the 12 car, and I kept cursing him, and then I quit mentioning it. So I think I have the same curse as you do.
Well, I guess if you're gonna put a spell on somebody, you might as well do it around here on PTM Racing TV.
Oh, absolutely. I tell you what, that's a tough break from Randall Fox there in that in the 98 car. Remember early on he was leading this thing from the pole, and he was up there dominating the race early, and then he got off on pit strategy a little bit, and I think that's come back to bite him because he has not been back up there ever since.
Certainly has been a bit of a long stretch of road and a lot of troubles here for him and the crew here, obviously. But I will say this though, right now, if I said it already, I'll say it again. Kevin Kershaw, Kyle Holden are really the two guys I would not have expected to get up as quickly as they have in this case. And Holden, for the most part, pretty clean and good to go. Kevin, a little bit more damaged up, a little more destroyed off, but doesn't seem to be really phasing him too much here.
Nah, and I know the last couple of weeks, you know, earlier in the season, Kyle Holden, you know, was, you know, he won Daytona, you know, he was clicking things off early on. He's been kind of in a dry spell here lately, so good to see him try to get himself back in position to get a good finish here tonight, as well as Kevin Kershaw as well.
For guys like Nathan Meyer right now, they're trying desperately to get into that top 10. He's currently in 13th at the moment. You heard him say earlier on, second place in points. It's definitely going to be a field day if he can get up to the highest end, the highest peak, and stick with this run. But as they come off of turn 2, down to 3 and 4, the next time by, if we don't get this one in, we're going to start green-white checkered scenarios up here. This is a green-white checkered scenario, but it is not our first attempt. This will be our normal attempts off of turn 3 and 4. Gale and Janzik lead the charge and mount the track. We're off and running. Let's see what happens.
All right, Gale is going to lead it down into turn 1. Jazanik is going to stay in second. The mullet man there is going to stay in third as they come off of 2.
Everything's clear so far. Robert Gillard, though, is going to cost. So big wreck. They're going to wreck right on the back straightaway. Big wreck. Meeks involved in this one. Thacker as well. And then man beats Brock Whitehead on tagged in this. Hey, wait a minute. What is Thacker doing? He's driving that thing in reverse! Is this guy thinking he's Ricky Bobby or something? This is not Talladega there, Thacker. What are you doing?
I guess he figured if he wasn't driving good forwards, maybe he'd drive better in reverse.
I have no compliment or comment to this one. I'm just going to let him do the PTM instant replay. And as soon as he walks into my booth, I swear he's going to come in here and say, hey, do you like that? Anyway, here's what happened to the Meeks in the 35. Here, Man Beast gets a little loose off a turn, too. And, man, Meeks just got smack dab in the wall there. He had a hard lick and had nowhere he could have gone. Then, well, you see Thacker just, well, yeah, he just basically did Thacker things. Let's just say that. I honestly have no comment. I can't. I mean, I don't know what the fans are probably thinking right now, probably hearing us laughing and all that at times, but like, you gotta remember, we do know a little bit of these guys, we do love working with them, but admittedly there are times that it's hard to keep a straight face when they're just doing so many funny things out here, some great things, so. The racing can be great and the racing can be good stuff, but I don't know, sometimes these guys are just characters in their own right, so that's all we gotta say to that.
Absolutely. I got to have a little bit of a personality out here. It's good to see that out here.
Yeah, you
Just
don't
mix things up a bit.
Yeah, about to say you don't want to look like anyone out there that has no like no character or no charisma out there. You still gotta have a little bit of something in there. You are driving literally race cars at over 180, 190 miles per hour at times, even up towards 210, 220. So I mean, you gotta have a little bit in there, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So now, race fans, as I mentioned earlier, the first one was not a green-white checker attempt, but this one is, so they get 2 attempts. So here's how it works. If they mess this up, they get 1 more attempt. If they mess that up, it's over. And wherever they are in position, they freeze the clock, they freeze the time. So whoever is in their spots, they win that spot.
And that's all based on a scoring loop, not on who got to the flag first or anything like that. It's wherever the last scoring loop was, if that scenario comes up.
Little fun fact, they had actually set that rule up and set that that whole circumstances, I believe, back in the mid-2000s. I believe it was about 2005, 2004-ish. That was when the Brian France era became relevant and apparent. That's when they actually told drivers you are not allowed to race to the finish line anymore. Where you are going under caution, that is where they freeze the time at, and that's how it's now become. And my opinion is for the better, but at the same time, it has kind of given us a little bit of troubles on certain things.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we're not going to have any trouble here. Pace car coming down into the pits. We're getting ready to get back green. This is the first green-white checker attempt. Here we go. We're back underway.
They get 2 attempts. Will they have to use both of them up? Off the restart here, Gale once again gets a strong start. No surprise there, but everybody else right in the back. They're going to try and play the little just get up and go kind of move off a corner turn 2. They saw 3 wide slit intervene. The Eli the Wild Shot kind of sneak his way back up ahead. They've got some company down there as they go to the white flag here, Dustin.
White flag is now out in the air. This race will be official. Doesn't matter now. Gale still with a slight bit of a lead as he comes off of turn number 2, down into turn number 3.
And down to turn 4, Gale brings the checkered flag back to his crew and back to his name. Jantix follows in suit second. The rest of the field trying to avoid trouble and get out of this mess. Completely damaged up cars coming across to the finish line.
Oh boy, oh boy.
I mean, say what you want about racing here at Myrtle Beach, folks, but you can't deny one thing. This has been one of the more entertaining races we've seen in a while for maybe all the wrong reasons. But for Gale, I got a feeling this one really boiled down to 2 things. Strategy, smarts on the track, and making sure to play this one out at the right place at the right time. And now he can finally put the 83 beside that famous Myrtle Beach victory lane side. He wins at Myrtle Beach here tonight.
Absolutely. It looks like Gale was going to win it. Greg Jazanik is going to finish in second, and the mullet man, Robert Lawrence, he's going to end up in third for our podium finishers tonight.
Going to be interested to hear what he has to say there as our race results now pop up on your screen, presented in part by our good friends over at Champion Power Equipment. And really, this has just been the sign of the tails that have been all around. Cale Gale and this Danny fan Craig Jantic once again 1-2 finishers. Robert the Mullen Man Lawrence, though, walks away solidly with that third place finish, showing that he still has a thing or two at Myrtle Beach to tell all tales of. Jason Taylor coming away fourth. Fifth goes to Richard Fornshell. Sixth to Kyle Holden. Great showing from him, as you said earlier there, Dustin. And seventh to Sean Bounty. How about this? Once again, a short track driver. He's more road course based, but seems like these short tracks he seems to dial them in on. We'll see if he can continue that streak, as we got eighth going Stephen Gibson, ninth being Christian Wilcox, and Nathan Meyer rounding out your top 10, considering where he was at. Very impressive display and should help in the points day. Sparky, I'll let you do the final 20, and then we'll show the rest of our field here.
Let's see. And 11th was Eli the Wild Child. It's a decent finish for him. Brock Whitehead there in 12th. 13th, William Mann Jr. Matthew Johnson brings it home in 14th. James Harris brought it home in 15th. 16th was Stephen Madden. Rick Sargent in 17th. Brian Lorenzano in 18th. Charles Whitehead 19th. Tyler Meeks will round out your top 20.
Certainly indeed. And right there, final results as well here. All the other drivers in this position, in this spot here. What a race it has been, and what a night it has been, obviously, for this crew in this series. And again, guys, you can only see it here on PTM Racing TV. So again, if you do like what you see, subscribe to our YouTube, and you can see all the action when it goes live. And you can also like and follow us up here on Facebook. More on that in a minute, about something there that I'll tell you guys in a sec. But first, enough of that. We're going to bring in the top three here tonight, starting them up from Oval Sim Performance. Ladies and gentlemen, here is your third place finisher here tonight, the Mullet Man, Robert Lawrence. Lawrence, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm ecstatic at where I finished. I guess words can come out with the competition in the field. I'm quite ecstatic with the top podium finish.
Certainly indeed, man. You had, like we said before, we had a lot of eyes on you. You knew that this was kind of your track to really dial in if you could get it there, and it certainly seemed like Myrtle Beach was good to you again. You got some good starts, some good runs, and you managed to keep yourself out of trouble for the most part. Was there really anything you could have done differently, you think, or was you just kind of stick with the flow?
If I could have figured out the track just a little bit more in these cup cars, it was different with the SLM. But with these cup cars, with all that extra horsepower, it was a little bit of a trick. But once I got it figured out, I was able to hang with most everyone. I'm just glad I was. I'm glad I figured it out when I did.
Absolutely, but nevertheless, obviously you're coming away with third place finish here tonight. So, Mullet Man, as you walk away with that, is there anybody you want to thank you for this one?
Well, first off, we got to thank Champion Power Equipment for being the main league sponsor. Can't thank them enough. 1,000 thank yous wouldn't be enough to them. I also got to thank Blaster being on the car, beautiful paint scheme, and I got to thank Green Mountain Grills, Avalanche, BSM partners, Kevin Kersher, and just everyone involved. One of the greatest leagues out there, in my opinion, and I'm glad I could walk away with the podium out of it.
Absolutely. Well, nevertheless, Mullet Man, great to see you finally back up in the top ranks here with Oval Sim Performance. Congratulations on this third place finish, sir.
Thank you.
Well, now bring in his teammate here as he joins us in real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome now to the stage the Zenny fan, Craig Janzik. And Janzik, as you hop out of that car here in the pit road exit, I got a feeling when I looked at your face, I said, you probably look like you just been beaten and battered on your arms, and you look like you are more tired and tore up than anyone else could have been imagined.
We're tired, that's for sure. The 14-to-1 ratio on a Formula wheel is something I recommend to nobody, not even anybody that wrecked me or the people that caused last night's shenanigans in the truck race. That's just that's a challenge. But I mean, we came out of here second, and I feel like that's an earned second because of the speed that we had in our factory canopies number 40 Mustang here today. Brought to you by Oval Sim Performance. Really good run for the whole team. Nobody worse than 12th. Really, really great points today for me as an individual and for the team.
Certainly is indeed here, Janzik. I know a lot of folks out there probably would love to be in the way your shoes were, having to face off with some of the best in KO Gale again, and even the Mullet Man kind of sneaking his way around the last bit. But nevertheless, you're still able to hammer away and charge off for a second place finisher at Myrtle Beach. Is there anybody you want to thank here for that one?
Yeah, man, got to thank our amazing league sponsor, Champion Power Equipment. They do so much for us to be able to come out here and have fun every Tuesday night, and they deserve infinite thanks for that. Really glad to have factory canopies on the car here today. And thanks to the Free Beer and Hot Wings show for their partnership. Listen to their show from 6 to 10 Eastern, Monday through Friday at freebeerandhotwings.com. And to my teammates, Robbie, Nathan, and Brock, really good races by them. Ovalson Performance always doing the most. And it shows on races like today. And thanks to you guys at PTM for the outstanding broadcast. I can't wait to go back and watch this one.
Yeah, have fun with that one. I think Sparky ended up calling himself a little bit older than he should be. Trying to call you on the track here, so but nevertheless.
Never show you, Sparky.
Thank you.
All right, Janzik, congratulations, my man, and what a finish it was here for you and the crew here tonight.
10-4, buddy. We'll talk to you next week, okay?
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, from Ovalson Performance as well, the Zenny fan, Craig Janzik, and his second place finish here tonight. Wheeled him another big spot up here. Now, race fans, if he is willing to talk with us from Blackstone Management Racing, let's bring in the race winner here, Cale Gale. And Cale, first off, congratulations on a race win, sir, and what a battle it was to the very end.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you guys doing the broadcast. Yeah, the first part of the race was pretty clean there. Obviously, well, we had a lot of late race restarts at the end. I thought that the 10 car might have had the strategy, to be honest. He had the track position, and the way the cautions worked out, he might have been able to hold us guys off that had a little fresher tires, me in the 40 car and the 34. So yeah, it was interesting. You know, I think we had pretty good pace. I think there was 5 or 6 of us that could about throw a blanket over us in as far as speed. So just had the track position, was able to hold on to the win here.
You certainly were indeed, and end up walking away with another W here. Obviously, still a lot of battles that you have gone against there with Janzik, from the races on the road course to the ovals and all that, but nevertheless, you seem to keep building a foundation for you and your team here in Blackstone Management Racing. So I got to ask you, as you're walking away with another W, is there anybody you want to thank for that?
Yeah, just everybody on our team. Thanks to Craig for running me clean there. We run side by side early in the race. It was a lot of fun. This track, you can run too wide. Just takes patience. It's on both ends of the spectrum, and we were able to do that. And yeah, it's been fun. I'm enjoying running on Tuesday night with you guys and everybody at BSM Racing. And my teammates had some bad luck. Randall was really, really fast and had some bad luck there. But yeah, nonetheless, we'll see you guys next Tuesday night.
We certainly will indeed. Cale, good to see you back here in Victory Lane. Good to talk with you once more. Best of luck and wishes in the next one. Congratulations still here tonight.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Ladies and gentlemen, the 83 Champion Power Equipment Machine, the Blaster Master as well. 83's Cale Gale. And race fans, well, I hate to say it, but that's really going to be all we're doing it here tonight. So, for all of us here at PTM Racing TV, we cannot thank you nearly enough. Thank you again to the good friends over at Champion Power Equipment for everything. And if you kind of heard me earlier on, I said Facebook-wise, we do appreciate you. And for the matter of fact, we really do appreciate it, because we have now hit another milestone. We've hit another high rank in that, and again, we don't really care how many we get to. You know, the fact that we even have this much support, it is just beyond amazing to me. So from the bottom of my heart, I know Sparky could speak with us too, but we really cannot say thank you enough for everything and you guys have done for us. So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much again to Champion Power Equipment Fast and Fun Cup Series and Green Mountain Grill Trucks Fast Fun Truck Series and everyone that believed in us all those months and years ago. So, and everybody that's helped start this whole foundation, thank you for everything. That's really about it here tonight. As I mentioned earlier as well, though, we do have a YouTube exclusive coming up tomorrow night. I will be broadcasting 2 races here on Facebook, with both going to YouTube later, but on exclusively YouTube wise, you will see a charity event from our friends in Shake and Bake Racing League. You'll have a new commentator and someone you may have heard of before, but he'll be doing some commentary work with our friends and with some friends and folks there. So stay tuned and show him a little bit of love tomorrow night on YouTube. And from all of us here at PTM Racing TV, we cannot thank you guys nearly enough. Sparky, it's been a pleasure to work with you again, bud. We'll see you here very soon, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. Another fun-filled night here tonight. And again, pleasure again working with you, and pleasure to be a part of this league and be able to be broadcast this race to all you folks out there. But again, a good show again tonight.
Till next week, everyone. Stay safe. God bless. Take care. We love y'all from the bottom of our hearts.